I get this question a lot when I talk about my gastritis healing journey and why it's taken me years to feel healed. I'm still not even at the point where I'm gonna say I've healed my gastritis yet, because to honestly say that, I would need to get another endoscopy, which, considering that my symptoms are so much better, is unlikely because doctors will not give me an endoscopy if I'm asymptomatic. So it's kind of a vicious cycle. But I feel better than I felt throughout this entire journey, and I feel like I have the most answers now, but it wasn't always that way. When I first started this whole healing journey, started from zero, I learned so much just on my own because the doctors that I visited really only offered PPIs as the long-term solution. And for a while, I believed that that was true for me. I believed that I needed to be on PPIs forever, or in order to just keep symptoms at bay long term. But the reality is the PPIs actually hurt me in the long run. I ended up developing SIBO and I ended up having bile reflux. And those two conditions, the SIBO and the bile reflux, really complicated things for me and made it take longer to heal. Once I actually figured out that I had those, then I could treat things directly and stop guessing at what was really wrong with my digestion. So it's not necessarily the healing that took so long, it was the figuring out what was actually functionally wrong, because gastritis doesn't just appear. There are many different causes, so figuring out the cause and figuring out what is perpetuating the gastritis, in my case it was bile reflux that was worsened by SIBO. Once I got the SIBO under control, the bile reflux followed suit, and I've been feeling really good ever since I had those both under control. It's not just about figuring out what's wrong though, it also does take time once you do figure out what's wrong, and sticking to a gentle diet, the proper supplements, regulating your nervous system, all of those things are important to do for months before you can really say you've healed. All of this to say, I don't want to scare people when I say I've been dealing with this since 2023. I've had so many good days between now and when I first started, so the healing process has not been a struggle the entire time. I've had really, really good days, weeks, and even months, and I'm going through a really good period right now as well. But again, I can't say I've healed until I get that second endoscopy, so that's why I'm not screaming it from the mountaintops. Don't feel discouraged if the length of healing feels really long. Try to just focus on today and what you can do now and take it one day at a time, because the time is going to pass anyway, so you might as well focus on building good habits that will help you long term, not just for gastritis, but for your holistic health for the rest of your life.